I've been seeing that a lot recently on LinkedIn, like the same people sharing the same thoughts and feelings, and I think,
we're way past the point of no return now. It's happening. HMRC have written to everybody. They're all over the TV. We've got thousands of small businesses in beta who are currently filing their MTD returns right now, and we're just trying to get it right, I suppose, and just make sure everything's working for kick-off next year.
Here we are, episode whatever it is of the Ledger Lounge. Welcome, with Katie here.
Hi.
And we're joined today by Paul Mackay from Xero.
Afternoon.
Who's our Partner Success Manager, I think is the name.
Correct. I've been with Xero for it's coming up to 9 years, which is good. But I've been doing this for nearly 20 years. I'm not going to tell you where I was before.
We know.
You know. But I love Xero in terms of what they do and how they like to work with small business and partners. It's the value they want to add. And one thing that really resonated with me, I really loved when I first joined, is what we like to do is try and give you time back until you can do the things you enjoy doing. It's new sports or going playing golf or spend time with the kids. So that's the whole thing that I love about Xero. But we started in New Zealand in 2006, came to the UK in 2008. We were pretty much the disruptors in this space. So it was a pretty stagnant market in the UK for a number of years. There was a dominant supplier in the UK in terms of a software vendor, and they were very much desktop based for and I'd say 9 out of 10 businesses used it. And when we came to the UK, we were one of the only cloud-based accountancy providers, and we introduced bank feeds back in 2010. And I think from there, that completely turned the industry upside down, really.
I think bank feed sold it for us, didn't it? When we realised that, oh wow, we've not got to type the bank into the software.
Yeah, it just made complete sense. Having daily bank data, what's going through your bank every day, being fed into Xero, instead of waiting for the bank statements to come through, whether it was monthly, quarterly, or sometimes annually. And it just made complete sense, and it just opened up so many doors. And we call it real-time information, and a business could look at a snapshot of the health of their business at any point, and they could see exactly how much money they had in the bank, exactly how much money they owed, and it just rocketed. It was brilliant. So that's just a bit about Xero anyway.
Yeah, I think we partnered with Xero in probably about the same time, 2011.
Probably.
And that was probably the thing that and, as it was at the time, Receipt Bank, Dex, the invoice capture there. Yeah. Those two things were all right, this is the future. That was the trigger, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. So as a firm, James Scott, we're Xero partners. We're Platinum partners, I think now, probably the top levels. Demonstrates our commitment to the software and how we can get the most out of it. And I think today we're here, we want to have a bit of a chat about MTD. So we've done a couple of episodes previously on sort of a high level on MTD, and then we've done a further episode, a little bit of a deeper dive. So if you want to catch up on those, you can do. But today it was really about how Xero as an accounting software in the marketplace is going to help us. I suppose a bit of a background into MTD is the start. Comes in next April, I think. Does it, Paul?
It does. Is it 151 days?
Oh, is that right? Yes, I think I did see that. Yes.
Today. Yeah, 151 days. Actually starting to get excited about it, believe it or not.
Really?
Yeah, well, it's all we talk about every day now.
Yes, it is, isn't it? Yeah,
it is.
That's true. Excitement about a tax change is something that I never thought I'd say, but there again, I have been an accountant for a long time. So
we've been looking at this for quite a bit now. We see it as a massive opportunity. Yeah, it's a good opportunity for Xero. We're a software provider, but we've seen what benefit it brings to small business in general, and now we're tapping into a market that have never used Xero before. So we're looking forward to working with smaller businesses and landlords.
Those businesses have to turn over in April. It's 50,000.
Yep,
and that's combined with the landlord. If you've got any rental income, landlords. So if you've got self-employment and rental, but it doesn't include partnerships, does it?
No. So hopefully everybody should know if they're affected. So hopefully they've had a letter. Because probably some people thought they weren't affected, but maybe then once they got the letter and realised, it's my combined income.
I think for other like sole traders that are already VAT registered, they're already used to it anyway.
Yeah,
it's the other people that aren't VAT registered and used to reporting quarterly that will probably just ignore a lot of the letters that HMRC send.
Yeah,
I hope they don't, but
yeah,
I imagine they think, oh, it's next year.
Yeah.
Have they sent them out in brown envelopes? Because that's what people tend to ignore.
Yeah, that's probably something they should look at changing, shouldn't it? And they might.
Or perhaps if you've gone paperless on your HMRC account, then
Oh, yeah.
it's in a little. It's
in
got
an
a
email.
couple of red ones next to it in your messages.
So we've got a number of clients that, like Katie said, VAT registered.
Yep.
We think their transition is going to be a lot easier than those that are in the unVAT registered area. So the 50 to 90,000 turnover businesses, they're the ones that we feel are going to have the biggest change. I think if you're VAT registered, you're already quarterly reporting.
Mm-hmm.
You've already probably got some digital links, some software of some sort, whether it be Xero or anything else. And we've been targeting those clients with a bit of an education process. Are Xero doing similar? I know you've just said the HMRC are writing to inform them that they're going to be in the system. But
Yeah, we've done a couple of marketing campaigns. We did some earlier in the year. We've done some new ones recently, really hammering down on types of sole traders that it's really going to affect, and just to try and make them aware that we are there for them when they are ready. We're seeing some. How can I explain it? We're seeing quite a few people adopting now and getting in early and starting the betas. We're not seeing as many as what we'd like to see. We know it's going to be a big rush towards the start of it next year, and we're just trying to encourage as many small businesses as possible to get on there early, because there's an education process in place as well that everybody needs to go through and just understand how it's going to change. Because I don't know, do you think quite a lot of these businesses are currently doing it themselves, their annual returns?
Well, the ones that are our clients aren't, are
obviously
they?
not those, but
there must be a lot of small businesses that are doing.
Yeah, I don't know. So I think is it just under 1 million affected in wave one?
Yeah.
I think it's 970,000
right,
in wave one. I'd love to know how many of those are currently not working with an advisor or an accountant.
Yeah,
and they're doing it themselves now, doing a simple self-assessment return that it's going to be very different for them next year.
I suppose that's difficult one us to comment on because we don't know the clients that aren't using us.
True. True.
We might know in 6 months' time, though.
They
We
will
might
know
get
in
a
6
few.
months' time when they try and where's this self-assessment portal gone? Oh, it looks a bit different.
Yeah. So I think that Xero then is helping us, and the product that Xero brought out is do you want to call it a low-cost product?
It's a light version of Xero, yeah. We understand the type of client or the type of small business or landlord has probably never paid for software before, and our most popular product at the moment is £37 a month, and that's actually quite a lot for someone that's never paid software before. So our MTD compliant, the lowest version, is a £7 product, and it ticks all the boxes and will make a small business compliant so they can do everything themselves. There's actually extra bits in there. There's ticking the boxes to be compliant, but then we put bits in there to make them thrive as well. So I'll touch on a few of those bits today that we feel really help.
Now,
all right.
Why not?
Okay, let's think early, shall we? No, so we've got a lot of experience in this space, and we know that if a small business can use a digital product and they get access to live data, up-to-date data, insights, can get their banking data coming through quickly and getting their income and expenses pushed into Xero quickly, then they get a more accurate feeling of where their business is, out of their health, I suppose, the health of their business. So we've packaged all these core bits together that we feel a MTD affected client will need to not only be compliant, but thrive, grow, and become a better business. I'd like to think that they've not grown because they're not using technology, and they could be a lot bigger and a lot more profitable and get paid quicker and things like that, really. So that's what we're hoping.
That'd be good. I think, I don't think that small business owners always know how their business is doing. So I think anything that can improve that is going to be a benefit to them.
Correct.
Live data.
Yeah.
I think that's key as well, isn't it? Having up-to-date real-time data, because if you're not doing the tax return till 9 months after it's been and gone. Yeah. For them anyway, they just think, oh, well, that was last year's problem. Yeah. What can I do this year to change? But you're 9 months in.
Yeah, so exactly. So if we can say, right, if just by using Xero, you've ticked a big box to say you're compliant, you're going to get your quarterly reporting across, or you're going to get your final submission across every year. You've ticked the box, HMRC asking you to do that, and you can do it quite easily. These other tools will help you, give you better visibility. It'll show you what your bank balance is. It'll tell you who's paying you on time or late.
Yeah.
And one thing that's a big passion for me at the moment is all in the payment space. So we've done loads of research about debtor days for small businesses in the UK, and it's incredible to read the research. I think on average it takes nearly 2 months to get an average debtor days about 59, 60 days,
Wow.
something like that.
Yeah.
But we found that using technology like Xero with payment solutions, which I'll go on about, gets paid a lot quicker. And in some instances, it's 4 times quicker. And sometimes you get paid on the day. So if you can think of all those small businesses that are now caught up with MTD, tradespeople, let's talk about that as an example. Yeah. They go out, they're doing quotes, they're doing work on the spot, but usually they'll get home in the evening late. They've got young kids, put the kids to bed. Oh, this is me. I've got 2 young kids. Put the kids to bed.
Sleep
and then
deprivation.
And then they'll go and do their invoicing and they'll send everything out, and then hopefully they'll send that invoice out, and then in a week or 2 they might get paid for it.
Yeah.
If they're using Xero and payments, they could do that job, send it to their customer right in front of them, and because it's there and it's right there, more often than not, they'll get paid straight away.
Yeah.
How good's that?
Those are the things that really benefit a business. I was talking to a client the other day, and he was bemoaning the fact that he'd done a job for, I think he's a plumbing and heating engineer, and he'd done a bathroom refit.
Okay.
So a reasonably sized job. And because the customer had chosen to have their own painter and decorator, they couldn't finish the work. Right. And so it took a little bit more time to get the invoice out, and then he's waiting to get paid after that. Whereas if you had is it tap to pay?
There's several options. Tap to pay is the best one because you can use your phone to take payments. It's great.
Yeah.
They could have taken payment straight away, right?
Do you need to set up an account, apart from obviously a bank account? But
yeah, so we use 2 payment providers, and depending what type of business you are, we've got 2 preferred payment supplier providers. One's Stripe. That's doing ad hoc payments, one-off payments, nice and easy. Or we use Go Cardless if you're doing more regular payments, so subscription services, things like that. You set it up once, it's free to set up, and then whenever you raise an invoice or request payment, you can just decide how you want to be paid. You either use the Stripe or the Go Cardless straight away. But it's really good. The fees are relatively low as well.
Yeah, we use Go Cardless. Well, we use both Stripe and Go Cardless at the office.
Imagine you would.
And you were talking about debtor days before, and that made a big difference to our business.
Yeah.
It reduced our debtor days by about 30 or 40%.
Yeah.
Which was incredible.
We've just done 3 more. One of them is SMS payments. So you can now text invoices with invoice links. So that even if they're not in front of them, the small business can text their customer with a payment link on it, a link to their invoice, and it'll say, and they can pay it there and then via a text.
Wow.
We've got payment links as well. So that one's a real quick one where you don't even have to raise an invoice, and you'll just send them a link and the customer creates it, does the payment, and then when it comes back to Xero, it creates the invoice for you in the background. And then the third one, which now introduced Klarna. So some businesses really utilise Klarna. So plumbers sometimes use it as well if they're doing big jobs, things like that. So there's just depends on the type of business you are, but we're just trying to provide as many ways as possible just to get paid faster, and we just call that frictionless finance, really.
Frictionless finance.
Yeah.
I like that. There we go.
Get T-shirts.
Got a question for you.
Oh, okay.
What are some of the biggest myths or misunderstandings you hear from small business owners about MTD?
I still speak to people who feel MTD won't happen.
Right.
Because it's been delayed twice already.
I've been seeing that a lot recently on LinkedIn, like the same people sharing the same thoughts and feelings, and I think,
we're way past the point of no return now. It's happening. HMRC have written to everybody. They're all over the TV. We've got thousands of small businesses in beta who are currently filing their MTD returns right now.
How are they finding it?
Yeah, good. It's the mechanics of it and what's required is actually quite simple. So it's only a summary that's being required to be sent every quarter at the moment. So there's no payments made. There's nothing.
Yeah.
That's what you said. That's what, you're held accountable for. You're allowed to make adjustments. So it's not a problem. We're just trying to get it right, I suppose, and just make sure everything's working for kickoff next year. It's happening.
Yeah.
Definitely happening.
I suppose it's a sea change in the way people are working, asking them to move from like if you were a tradesman, and we've talked about subcontractors in the past, where a subcontractor is potentially can be in MTD these days because the rates are paying in construction and trades.
Yep.
They're not used to using accounting software. If you were an unrepresented business, so not with an accountant, is Xero able to support the process?
Yeah, so we're supporting both practices and small businesses, so they've both got to go down the same journey at the end of the day. From a small business point of view, we have a number of resources, educational resources, depending on your learning styles. So we've got stuff to read, and we've got really in-depth, detailed, step-by-step. This is what you need to do. Here's some advice on to make it easier for yourself to do this. So there's some practical guidance there. There's numerous webinars that we're delivering from our education team, just delivered to small business and accountants like yourselves that have on that journey. And I think we've got just released a certification for it as well. So it's mostly practice based. So we're trying to upskill our partners like yourselves about the world of MTD, I suppose.
Is that live now, that course?
Yeah, I think it went live on the beginning of October.
Right.
So,
I'll have to mention that word.
Yes, definitely. That sounds like something.
Get it in the diary.
Yeah. I think one of the things that we've been telling our clients is to make sure that you keep your personal bank account
massive.
Open a business bank account alongside it.
Yeah.
Even if it's receiving one paycheck or one payment of an invoice a week and got a little bit of motor expenses and a little bit of tools and equipment, just separate your business from your personal. Yeah. And that'll make the reporting so much easier, won't it?
Oh, it's the easiest thing you can change and the most impactful change you can do is just by doing exactly that, what you said. So just a dedicated business bank account, just get everything separated. And then how software like Xero works, it will have that dedicated bank account then feeding straight into Xero. We call it a direct bank feed or an open bank feed. Everything that goes through that business bank account daily will come through into Xero for that accounting process to be reconciled for reporting purposes. So if there's the first thing to do.
Yeah. I know that Monzo, I don't know whether there's any other banks, but if you open a bank with Monzo, you get 6 months free Xero, or you did?
That is an offer,
yeah.
That's correct.
Which would be handy for some of the...
I mean, there's some great banks out there now. Don't just go to the bank that you've used for the last 30, 40 years. There's some great digital banks out there and some may more beneficial for your business.
Yeah.
But some of the more new digital banks have better connections to digital software like Xero. So I'm not saying use those, but you've definitely got a choice now. Yeah. You can use whichever you like.
Because they're digital native rather than they were designed to be a digital bank.
Correct.
Yeah. I think we've seen that with accounting software as well, haven't we? So the accounting software that was designed to be cloud-based is far better than the software that morphed from desktop-based or from server-based or whatever you want to call it.
We've been in this industry too long. We've seen them all, haven't we?
We have, I'm afraid, yeah.
Yeah.
So MTD, where's it going? Where do you think it'll end up?
So we've seen the plan. So we can see it up until 2028. So as we know, next year it's going to be over 50K, year after over 30, year after that over 20. That's what's set in stone so far. After that, I think they were talking about doing the corporation tax. Is that right?
Yeah, that was scheduled for 27 or 28, and then I think that's been shelved.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine after that.
We were talking about misconceptions before. Do you think they'll ever move to quarterly payments off the back of quarterly returns? Because it feels almost like there's a roadmap there that we don't know about yet.
Depends if they need the money sooner, really. Let's see how the budget goes in a few weeks.
For some people, for some sole traders and people with property, they might prefer to pay it monthly as well, rather than one big. If they know what they're paying, they might just think, "Oh,
that's true.
Pay that now, and it's done then."
That's true.
Because I mean, we don't get many, but I have had in the past a few clients saying, "Well, can I just pay it now so I don't forget?" And I'll do it. Yeah, if you want.
What a nice place that would be for most people. There's different mindsets coming through into this as well, and I think a small business that's like a plumber or a tradesperson or just got a side hustle but doing quite well and getting over that nearly or over that 50k mark. I think a lot of people forget about it's the combined income, this MTD. So that's that for us. I'm coming across that quite a lot when I do speak to practices and accountants, and they're always got questions about, well, what about these clients that have got multiple trades that are over the 50k, and there's loads of complicated ones. So there'll be plenty of people out there who do have a trade and maybe 1 or 2 properties. They know they're caught up in it, but then there's an added complication of, well, what does the mechanics look like for that?
Yeah.
Because I think a lot are actually instantly thinking, wow, right, so I'm going to need technology. I need something like Xero. Am I going to need a single subscription for everything I do? And I think one myth I just want to get rid of today is we built Xero to handle multiple streams of income. So if you do have a small business and you do have a property, you can do all that on one subscription.
Okay,
so
right.
that's
good.
I'm going to get rid of that straight away because most people get worried about software costs, and we use something called tracking categories. So you put your small business revenue income in one tracking category, and the property. If you've got multiple properties, keep going.
Off a single bank account?
You can have multiple bank accounts attached as well.
Okay, right.
Yeah, so
if you had a property
fees.
Bank account and you have your self-employed bank account.
Yeah.
Because some people, like if they do have a rented property that's included in there, they sometimes like to keep that as a separate fund almost, isn't it, away from the business?
Yeah. So we've got that, and one part of as part of the process of using Xero, we would encourage using our data capture tools. So that's the other side of the accounting process about all the income and expenses for the businesses. The best way of getting that in to reconcile against what's coming through the bank is to use, we've got something we give away with our product called HubDoc, and they can just take a picture of invoices, receipts on the go, which then just feeds into Xero. It's got OCR technology, which reads that document, takes off the key information, creates that transaction in Xero, and then waits for the bank transaction to come through, reconciles them, which is all part of what is required to then be reported to HMRC. So number 1 for us, get your bank account sorted. Number 2, start exploring using the HubDoc apps and data capture apps, because then you've got your data coming in from both sources.
I suppose the beauty about HubDoc is it's included in that subscription.
It is.
So if you're worried about software costs, like you were saying, Katie, it's like £7 a month. Yeah. You've got a complete solution. Yeah,
correct. We're not like BMW or Mercedes, like you pay extra for electric windows. No. Everything's included. Yeah, it'd be very harsh for us to introduce people into the world of Xero. This is what you need to do, but then that's extra and that's extra and that's extra. So at that level, I think
that's probably why people are a bit like, oh, software, what else? Is it 1 or is it 2? Is it 3? Is it 4?
Yeah. Correct. So I think at that level, we need to be very clear with our pricing, what's included, and make sure that they feel confident that we're there. We tick all the boxes and we're affordable for what they need.
Not everybody has to do MTD if they're over a certain threshold. There are some exemptions. I think the Revenue clarified a couple of weeks ago. So you've now got, I think if you are a practicing member of a religious organisation whose beliefs aren't compatible with digital communication, I think you can apply to HMRC, but you've got to write in and get a dispensation almost, haven't you? Prove your case to them. And I think if you've got a disability or a health condition that prevents you from doing it. And what was the third one, I think? If you can't get internet access. Was the third one. So Lauren will be okay with that one on top of a hill where she lives.
In the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
They're getting fewer, though, isn't it, now that can say that they haven't got internet.
But, Lauren lives in the middle of nowhere. And it's like a bit like that house in, what was it called? The programme, Royston Vasey. League of Gentlemen, it was that. She lives in that house on the mall.
I thought you were going to say she lives in that house where the M62 splits.
Oh, yeah, the little house on the prairie. No. Hopefully that's given us, people listening, a bit more of a practical guide to MTD.
And if you could give one piece of advice to small business owners listening who haven't really thought about MTD yet, what would it be?
Get yourself a dedicated bank account. That's nothing to do with Xero. That's nothing to do with your accountant, but just get yourself a dedicated bank account now. And just get all your business expenses going through that. That's number 1 for me.
Great.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Paul.
Thank you.
Cool.
The Ledger Lounge is brought to you by James Scott Accountants in Oldham, Greater Manchester. please like, rate and subscribe wherever you listen to the show. To find out how James Scott can help you build a better business, visit jamesscott.com. This podcast is a QPod production. Visit kupod.co.uk for more information.